Hey guys, welcome back to Magfed Ranch Paintball channel. And today I'm going to be reviewing our tabletop review of our MK12 Mod 1 Paintball Marker. So guys, as you guys can see, it is a clone marker of the famous, iconic, SOCOM Mark 12 Mod 1 rifle. But hey, before I get into it, let's get the prerequisites out of the way, right? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, please share, and please comment, guys, okay? So let's get into it. And as always, we're gonna start from butt to tip. And starting from the butt, we have a black adjustable buttstock here. It just kind of looks like your standard, M4 soft mod clone buttstock, okay? And let's see how many positions this guy's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 7, actually quite a bit of adjustments, guys, but cool thing about this is we always use the guide rod. I prefer the guide rod over the sticker. Sticker, obviously, once again, you kind of have to adjust the, the buttstock to the correct position before you apply the sticker. And then the other thing I don't like about it too is, your buttstock that uses the sticker, it's pretty much has to be used with that sticker and with that tank at that point, right? Because obviously after that, like that sticker is literally going to be attached to that tank. And so it's just kind of like, once it's kind of stuck, it's kind of stuck. I get it, you can switch tanks from, one marker to another, but I don't know, I just prefer kind of like the hardware, physical attachment to it. On this marker, we're using the 13 CI tank, just because it's a bigger marker, as you guys can see, compared to the Mark 18 or the MR18 that I just reviewed. And so it just kind of, gives you a little bit more air capacity if you're going to have to fire more rounds. This one is a 3000 PSI tank as well. Same thing, I do love this air nozzle here and all these, these regulators that the tanks come with, because you can literally just attach the line right there and fill it up. And because these tanks are so small, it takes very quick to fill up, especially at your local fields. Even our little small pump that we guys use, it takes like a couple minutes to fill up, right? So speaking of which, if you guys want me to see a review of the pump that I use to fill up all our markers, definitely let us know and we can shoot a video of that as well. Real quick on all the buttstocks as well, there is a sling attachment here that you can attach a sling to, or there's a hole through this right there as well too that you can attach a sling to. And I think a sling is super important when you're playing Magfed. Obviously, it allows you to kind of drop the marker. If you need to go to a backup, a pistol, that type of thing, you can do that if you have a sling. And plus, it's just cool. It adds to the realism of the gameplay. All right, so keep on moving forward here. We got the obviously the tank stock ring here to be able to attach the guide rod. And of course, on all of our markers, we include a rear sling adapter as well too. So you can attach the sling here, or you can attach the sling here if you had like a like a quick hook mount to attach as well. Okay. Keep moving forward. This marker is really cool because it does have your DMM, designated Marksman Marker grip. So it does come up with a different grip than our MR18 and some of the other markers we carry. So this is kind of like a clone of the Ergo grip that would have came with the Mark 12 rifle. It does have a quote-unquote functional charging handle, right? So when you go to initially charge the marker with air, you will need to charge the marker to move the bolt to the furthest rearward position, and that will allow the marker to air up. But it's also a very functional training tool as well too, if you want to practice kind of just charging a marker like a real rifle, right? It also has a mock bolt release here as well too. So if you want to kind of practice your magazine reloads, right, and you go to reload a magazine, you can come up and press that bolt release, just so that way you kind of, you know, follow all your training that you do with your real ARs, right? And then of course it has a standard AR mag release here that you can push with your finger, okay? And of course it has your standard position AR selector switch. So that's the one thing cool about these markers, guys. Not only does, I mean, it looks sick, it looks like a real freaking AR rifle, but of course it has kind of all some of the functional features, or at least, you know, the features that are in place so that you can kind of go through your training process, right, if you wanted to kind of implement safe and fire. Speaking of safe and fire and selector switch, this marker does come with just a standard semi-auto, but we do offer an FA or a full auto upgrade switch if you guys would like. Okay, bam, so that's there. The, what else? The marker also has a mock dust cover, like I was saying, all these kind of cool features that make it look like a real AR for not only training purposes, but just kind of for the realism of it. It does cover a hopper adapter, so if you guys do want to play with hoppers, like I tell you guys all the time, I'm a Magfed proponent. I'm pushing for Magfed and Magfed gameplay, so I don't really prefer or recommend, you know, using the hopper, but if you guys like to, it is right here to do. Okay, and there's that dust cover as well too, so it looks really real. The marker is a base T15 marker from First Strike, so you know everything that a T15 stock marker will do. Efficiency, shots of, you know, rounds, consistency, everything like that is as a T15. It's got a Knights Armament clone rear sight. It is their standard big, you know, 200 to 600 rear sight. Cool thing about this sight is it is adjustable, so it does have up and down adjustable that you can turn here to go up and down, and of course it has windage as well, so you can go left or right. Speaking about sights, it has the front micro sight, same thing. It's a Knights Armament clone, you know, iron sight. It has up and down, so you know, adjustment as well too. Okay. And real quick, guys, all of our markers, they do come tested before we ship them out to you guys, or you know, before you guys get them. We zero in. They all come with iron sights. So whatever iron sight that the marker, you know, the real Mark 12 would come with, our markers come with those sights as well too, and they are zeroed in at 20 yards. And so we include a target with every marker that we sell that you'll see that is zeroed in at 20 yards. And now that leads me to more scoping and sighting systems, right? So the cool thing about these, you know, about the MR12 is, right, it comes with this full-length rail, but even the top of the marker, right, it has these Picatinny rails that you can attach pretty much different scopes or red dots or whatever you like to it. We always prefer using the First Strike FSR adjustable riser. The reason for that is we found that that is the perfect height to play with a paintball mask, right? Because the way the cheek weld is on an air tank stock versus a normal air AR stock, and then of course the added, you know, length distance of the paintball mask that you wear, when you go to shoulder the marker and you go to put your cheek on it, your face sits up a lot higher than a standard AR would. So this allows you, even with the mask, to pretty much line up your eyes right to the sight that you're going to be using, whether that's this, you know, Hawke crossbow scope that we're using here. Guys, real quick, really good scope for paintball markers. Check out our review. We're going to be doing a review on this scope in particular in the future, so go check that out. But yeah, it just gives you the right height distance over bore, and then also, if you see a lot of guys playing with Magfed markers that don't have the correct height, you'll notice that their neck is really kinked over trying to get their eyes to line up with the scope. And this way, it just allows you to be in a more natural body position, heads up. You know, your body's not, you know, stressed out. You know, it's just less fatigue when you're playing as well. Okay. Now, like I told you guys, our markers basically come with the the rails and of course the iron sights. All these other things are added on accessories that wouldn't come with the marker, but of course we could add it upon request. But the FSR adjustable riser, we always recommend. The Hawke scopes, we always recommend these throw lever scope mounts. We like that just because they're quick and easy. If you need to take the scope out for whatever reason and you want to swap it out, bam, you can just flip the scope levers and the thing comes out real quick. Okay. Moving forward, so what makes the MR12 so iconic, just like the Mark 12 rifle, right? Is this Knight's Armament, rail. They called it, I believe, their wrists or their RAS rail, but it's a full-length rail, and it's got Picatinny, so you can pretty much mount any, optics, lasers, lights. Obviously, it's paintball, right? So, some of that stuff might be a little bit too much, but for example, if you did want to, put a light, a torch on here, right, a flashlight. If you wanted to, obviously add another dot or any other type of accessories, or of course like this broom handle, Knight's Armament clone grip, these rail covers, it'll take all those different types of accessories. And something that is functional that you could attach to, obviously the Mark 12, the MR12, is of course a front, bipod. This bipod is an actual Harris 6-9 bipod. I prefer, guys, for the majority of this stuff, I prefer using high quality, or at least firearms grade products, just because you're gonna bang some of the stuff up on the field when you play. You're gonna run around with it, you're gonna have to tumble, you're gonna have to dive, right? Take cover, that type of stuff. And some of the stuff you can get away with, like airsoft quality, or I guess paintball, non firearms related quality stuff. But some of this other stuff, like this bipod, I've tried the inferior, cheaper bipods, and they just don't work. They're gonna break on you, or they're not gonna hold, when you're trying to go set it up. We also always add this KMW bipod release, so that way swivel release, just like the real Mark 12 would have on our MR12. And this also allows you to obviously shoot from a prone position, or from, let's just say, from a like a barricade or something like that, with even the full length magazine, as you can see here, right? So that way you can shoot from like a position of cover or from the prone, and the bipod in the full extension allows you to accept the 20 round mags. Now, of course, with the 11 round mags, it's a lot easier. You can obviously even go a little bit shorter if you needed to. You don't have to you can still use the short position as well too, but it's just more rounds, right? More rounds versus the less rounds on this one. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just keep it like that because this looks really cool, guys. So real quick on the magazines, like I was telling you guys, the last ones, I recommend just loading the 11 rounders to 10 rounds. We just seemed that stuffing it with that last round makes it a little bit less reliable, so I recommend doing that. Keep moving forward on the rail. We have a rail adapter here. You can obviously attach other sights, scopes, whatever lights to as well, but the reason why we have it too, guys, is it just makes it look like the real Mark 12. It looks like the gas block on the real Mark 12, right? So our MR12 comes with that as well. And what is on, or I guess underneath that little rail adapter is super important on our MR12. It is a 18-inch rifle barrel, and like I was telling you guys, we always promote first strike rounds, or we always suggest shooting first strike rounds out of our marker, because as cool as this thing looks, but without the accuracy, without the distance capability of first strike rounds, I mean, for the most part, it's just a paintball marker like any other paintball marker. But it only holds 10 rounds or 20 rounds. So what makes the Magfed markers, the advantage, the coolness, everything about it is that it's an actual scope capable, red dot capable marker with first strike rounds, right? You can actually aim and hit your target out to a really great distance, right? Out to 100 yards, out to even 150 yards. You could potentially hit your target, and eliminate your target out to those distances. So always definitely recommend rifle barrels and first strike rounds. Okay, guys. And yeah, real quick, check out some of our other videos with our first strike rounds. Those going to be coming out soon because we have our own little exclusive first strike rounds as well too. We have a bird cage flash hider on the 18-inch barrel to obviously make it give that kind of that AR look. And I get it, guys. I know the real Mark 12 came with the Allen Engineering Ops Inc. Muzzle brake, so I'm looking forward to maybe obviously producing that in the future, or collaborating with someone to produce that in the future, guys. So hey, hit me up. I'm looking to have one of those things done, so we'll come that as well. And then of course maybe even doing the suppressor as well too. So looking to forward to doing some more of the accessories to make this clone 100% correct. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that is it. This is the full tabletop review of the MR12, guys. If you guys liked our video, please like this channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, right? And I'll check you guys on the next one. Peace.